In a recent New York Times op-ed, economist Paul Krugman asserted that radical Democrats like socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are reasonable. Of course, Krugman does this by setting up a false dichotomy, forcing the reader to choose between a socialist like Ocasio-Cortez and Tea Party politicians. That's right, we can't criticize Ocasio-Cortez alone, nor criticize socialism on its own merits. No, we need to drag the Tea Party into this and decide which extreme we'd rather have. Although I personally prefer Tea Party-leaning people like Justin Amash and Thomas Massie to most politicians, but that's besides the point. And I'm gonna pass on Paul Krugman's laughable defense of Ocasio-Cortez, given that I've covered some of his points before in previous videos, and given that there's no shortage of people that shit on Paul Krugman already. Because I want to focus on the reasonable Ocasio-Cortez, whom, according to Huffington Post, is a dues-paying member of Democratic Socialists of America. Ocasio-Cortez is supported by the DSA and many of their local chapters, so this is a two-way street. A bond, if you will. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Of course, since the beginning of the Bernie Revolution, the term democratic socialism has become a popular concept, used in an effort to disguise the ugly history of socialism. And I gotta admit, it does sound like an improvement. Democratic socialists don't want dictators like Uncle Joe or Chairman Mao. No, these socialists are democratic. They want to give you, the little guy, a voice and a vote on how money should be distributed. We're not going to have a bloody socialist dictatorship this time because we can always vote out the bad leaders. It's amazing how you can take a shitty concept like socialism and make it sound just fine by attaching the term democratic to it. How about democratic fascism? Does that sound appealing?
Oh, hell no!
Or how about democratic Sharia law? That's right, let's all live under an Islamic theocracy. It won't be so bad this time because we the people will be able to vote out the caliphate if he gets too out of line.
Yeah, that.
Anyway, let's listen to how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez defines her brand of socialism to Stephen Colbert.
What is the meaning of that for you? What does socialist mean to you?
For me, democratic socialism is about really the value for me is that I believe that in a modern, moral, and wealthy society, no person in America should be too poor to live. That's what I feel.
That seems simple.
Seems pretty simple. So what that means to me is healthcare as a human right. It means that every child, no matter where you are born, should have access to a college or trade school education if they so choose it. And, I think that no person should be homeless if we can have public structures and public policy to allow for people to have homes and food and lead a dignified life in the United States.
See, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just wants to redistribute a little wealth. She just wants to make sure the kids and the poor are taken care of. That's all. Ocasio-Cortez is not someone that wants to put all of the property, resources, and means of production in the control of the state, which is exactly what socialism is, democratic or not. She's not someone that wants communism, nor is she someone that wants to take your money.
Human beings do not need that much wealth. They just don't. So the correct response, since billionaires are doing so well, is to take that money from them. Take that money from them. Take that money from them. Take
that money from them.
Redistribute their wealth that they don't need and give it to people who need it.
Even Even MSNBC ran a segment recently explaining that democratic socialists are not communist. Except this unironically ignores many red flags, like the fact that many of Democratic Socialists of America's leaders seem to think that communism is a good idea. Look at all of these tweets from people claiming to be chairs within the organization. Yes, Democratic Socialists are totally different from communists, folks. Recently, Democratic Socialists of America tweeted that they want to abolish profits. Now, it's worth noting that abolishing profits is antithetical to American values. You can't have freedom and the right to pursue happiness if you don't have the right to make money. Again, these democratic socialists are supposed to be the good socialists. They're an improvement over the socialists from the 20th century that tried to implement Karl Marx's ideas. That's right, these democratic socialists are totally different. Hence why Democratic Socialists of America sells Karl Marx tote bags on their swag shop to celebrate the philosopher's 200th birthday. And look at all of these tweets promoting Marxist literature. Democratic Socialists sure love Karl Marx. Again, no shortage of red flags from Democratic Socialists of America. This is an organization that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a member and financial supporter of. An organization that's led by communists, sells Marxist merchandise and promotes Marxist literature, and openly states that they want a prohibition on making money. They want to run an experiment that everyone knows results in mass slaughter and starvation. Now, I'm not sure to what extent Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez agrees with these monsters, and I'm definitely not accusing Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of being a communist. But considering the fact that she openly associates with Democratic Socialists of America and welcomes their support, and the fact that she has to sugarcoat socialism with word salads like this, I gotta ask, does Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her democratic socialism still sound reasonable?